Hey guys, it's your boy Corey 100 and welcome to this video. This is the raw results video for the 11th of March 2013. Let's get straight in. In the start off Monday Night Raw, it was a tribute to the late Paul Bearer, who recently died of, was it a heart attack? Something to do with his heart and blood or something like that. I'm not really too sure. I didn't see. Um. I've not seen what happened. What was the cause of that? So if anyone knows what it was, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Undertaker comes out to do his own little tribute to Paul Bearer when he does the when he's down on a knee, he holds his hand up with the urn in the middle of the ring. Of course, the signature urn that Paul Bearer carried around for all those years. It was really a fitting tribute to Paul Bearer. But as the Undertaker was doing that, we hear CM Punk's music, and out comes the disrespectful gobshite asshole that is CM Punk. He comes out, total disrespect, and starts disrespecting the Undertaker and disrespecting Paul Bearer, and really, it was a Punk really is gonna get what he deserves at WrestleMania. An ass whooping from the Phenom. So CM Punk, after this show disrespect on WWE app, it went to commercial after that, but on the WWE app, it showed that Kane came out. And of course, Kane is the Undertaker's brother and Paul Bearer's son. Kane came out, of course, absolutely PO'd, and can you blame him? I personally could not. I was very happy for Kane. I wish he got Punk up, but Punk slipped out of the chokeslam. Kane was gonna chokeslam him off the stage, which would let me to believe that, of course, that's not that far anymore. The stage isn't as high as it used to be, because if it was the old stage and Kane had thrown chokeslam Punk off that like he did Eric Bischoff a few years ago, then there would be no WrestleMania match between Punk and Undertaker, because Punk would be completely, utterly injured, without a doubt. So yeah, Punk, after that show disrespect, and Punk slipped away from Kane, but Vicky Guerrero made an absolutely brilliant decision. Have to applaud her for that. She made a match, Punk versus Kane, no disqualification. I'll get to that match later, and who indeed won. Moving on to the first match of the night. It was the Big Show versus Seth Rollins of the Shield. This match lasted about a minute before the Shield started attacking the Big Show. Big Show first attacked them. He tried to. He kind of knew it was coming. He kind of knew the attack was going to happen. sooner or later, and Big Show tried to prevent it from happening, but he couldn't. 3-on-1, and they did that big triple power bomb on him in the middle of the ring. Big Show got the win via disqualification, of course, from the outside interference. But really, there's bigger news here that the Shield seemingly are unstoppable. But I'll talk more about the Shield later and more about Big Show later in the video. Anyway, on to the next match. Next match was Mr. Money in the Bank to show off. Dolph Ziggler was taking on one half of the WWE Tag Team Champions, Ghostface himself, Daniel Bryan. This was a very great match. It was back and forth all night. Probably the best match of the night that I saw. But I did not see the full no DQ match between Kane and Punk. I know who won, but I didn't see the full match. My internet stopped working about halfway through the match. Anyway, back to this match. Dolph Ziggler defeated Daniel Bryan with a lot of help from AJ and Big E Langston, of course. Dolph Ziggler is nothing without those two. And with those two, he will definitely become the World Heavyweight Champion whenever he decides to cash in. Whenever that is, I don't know. But I digress. I move on to the next match, or what was supposed to be a match. It was supposed to be Tensai versus Fandango. There. Fandango? Someone say your name. You wrestle now. But no, apparently he wanted Naomi, who is one of Bros Clay's Funkadactyls, to intro him because Justin Roberts got it wrong. Apparently. So Fandango refuses to wrestle again. I don't know what his problem is, but I'm looking forward to seeing SmackDown because Booker T has seemingly laid down the law that Fandango must compete in the next match that Booker puts him in. Of course, that match would have been him having been put in by Vicky Guerrero. Onto the next match. It was meant to be Rhodes Scholars. And what's the deal with that? Are Rhodes Scholars together still, or are they broken up? I don't get it. Anyway, forget Rhodes Scholars for now. I'll get back to them in a minute. It looked like Rhodes Scholars were gonna win the match, but then we hear the unmistakable music of Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar coming out. He attacks the New Age as he lays them both out with the F5. And true Paul Heyman, Brock Lesnar answered that yes, he will face Triple H at WrestleMania on one condition, that Lesnar gets to name the stipulations. And, as an added handicap to Triple H won't find out what those stipulations are until after Triple H signs the contract. So, basically, Triple H, if he wants this match, he has to sign a contract, not know what he's getting into, and then find out what he's getting into. So, by that time, it will be too late. But, I honestly believe Triple H is going to win, so Triple H will probably blindly accept this offer. of course, we have to wait to freaking next Monday Night Raw to find out. Because Triple H doesn't like appearing on SmackDown. Now. And you just know Triple H is gonna be PO'd because, of course, Billy Gunn and Road Dogg are very close friends of Triple H. Of course, they were DX together for a very long time. Back a few years ago. The next match, it was Kofi Kingston versus the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. Henry defeated Kofi Kingston with ease, really. This was actually not the last time we see Henry after he beats Kofi Kingston. It was during the next match where it was Ryback versus Heath Slater. During the match, Mark Henry came out onto the stage. This is setting up a feud between Ryback and Mark Henry, which I think would be a great feud. Once Ryback realized Henry was there and basically watching him, kick Slayer around the ring, because Slayer is absolutely useless, Ryback picks his Miho clothesline that he picks Slayer up and did Shell Shocked. Got the 1-2-3 victory. Ryback beats Heath Slayer, and then Mark Henry comes down to the ring. But before that, Drew McIntyre came into the ring and started attacking Ryback. But for his trouble, he got hit with Shell Shock. After that, Mark Henry then got into the ring, and Mark Henry picked up Drew McIntyre, him the world's strongest slam. And then Ryback and Mark Henry seemingly went into competition with each other using Drew McIntyre. Because then Ryback picked him up and hit Shell Shock again. It was back and forth. They just didn't. And the poor sacrificial lamb was Drew McIntyre. That poor bastard didn't see it coming. The next match was a champion versus champion non-title match between World Heavyweight Champion Alberto Del Rio and the United States Champion Antonio Cesaro, Mr. 5 Languages. But Mr. Cesaro, I wonder if he can say, I tapped out in 5 languages, because he did. He tapped out to Alberto Del Rio's signature maneuver, the cross armbreaker. And Cesaro, gotta give him credit, he was smart. He tapped out straight away to avoid any serious injury. Because if you pick up a serious injury when you're the champion, you lose that title. So yeah, Alberto Del Rio got the victory. Moving on to the next match, and it was the seemingly the very good team of Randy Orton and Sheamus. I don't know why everyone's saying these guys are gonna have a feud. Orton's gonna turn heel. I've heard that a lot. No, Sheamus and Orton are not gonna. Orton's not gonna turn heel. Sheamus and Orton are seemingly not gonna have a match at WrestleMania. I will tell you what the match will be. It will be The Shield, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose versus Randy Orton, Sheamus, and it looks like their third partner will be The Big Show. Oh, because if anyone's being turned here, it looks like The Big Show is being turned back to face. Which completely freaks me out. Because he's not a face anymore. He shouldn't ever be a face again. Because no one likes him after what he did John Laurinaitis. Anyway, and Orton and Sheamus were teaming up against Team Rose Scholars. Now, a bit earlier in the night, Cody Rose and Caitlyn were seemingly trying to get each other to take a bottle of water. I think Cody Rose might have feelings for the Divas Champion, Caitlyn. But, I think Cody was actually going to ask her out, but then Damien Sandow comes out of nowhere. He comes in and he takes the water, and says, "Thank you, I'm parched." What a twat. And then he says that he has found him and Cody suitable girlfriends. Basically saying, "Hey Cody, I don't care what you want, I'm picking your girlfriend." And then who appears? Nikki and Brie Bella. Yes, the Bella twins are back. Nikki and Brie, and Caitlyn is even shocked to see him. She implies as saying she thought they got fired. They did get fired, but now they're back. I'm confused. Is the Divas division dead, or are they bringing all the Divas back? Because if they're bringing people back, please bring back Kelly. Please. We all want Kelly back. And basically, those are Rose Scholars' new girlfriends, apparently. And you could see Cody Rhodes was not happy about it. He tried to stop Caitlyn before she off. You could see Cody Rhodes was kind of like, "Really, man? You just ruined this for me." Sheamus and Orton beat Rhodes Scholars, and after the match on WWE app, while Sheamus and Orton were celebrating going up the ramp, Sheamus was shaking the hands of WWE Universe like they normally do, and out of the corner of his eye, while he was celebrating on the other side, Sheamus was on one side with these fans over here, and Orton was over this side. Orton saw Dean Ambrose from The Shield. And, you guessed it, a all-out war broke out. Orton and Sheamus were in control at first, but then, Seth Rollins with that knee ran off the ramp, and hit Orton with that knee that he does normally off the top rope. We saw him do it to Chris Jericho, and we saw him do it to Sin Cara, but it was not to Sin Cara's head, it was to his knee, but he still, that's what Rollins did. It was the knee to the head, and Orton was down. He could not help Sheamus, and Sheamus was just beaten down. The Shield claimed another 2 victims, Orton and Sheamus. And I get the feeling that Orton and Sheamus will be looking for revenge. The next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was the return of the highlight reel to Monday Night Raw, and Chris Jericho's guests were The Miz and Wade Barrett. This Miz started insulting Barrett about how Barrett's been on kind of a losing streak, basically since the Royal Rumble, and that Miz said it was only a matter of time before Barrett loses the Intercontinental title. Jericho says his that he was proud of the way Barrett, because of course Jericho was Barrett's pro back in NXT the first season. He helped Barrett win that particular season of NXT. He mentioned that Barrett. He mentioned that Barrett was, of course, the current Intercontinental Champion, but of course Barrett is actually a two-time Intercontinental Champion, because he was Intercontinental Champion before. But Chris Jericho, of course, reminded us, because he has to remind us of everything, that he is a former 9-time Intercontinental Champion, of course, the most of any superstar in history. And Jericho was kind of poking at Barrett, asking him if he should make it 10. I was like, yes, he should. I think Chris Jericho is going to win the Intercontinental title next week, because it was first there was a match directly after this, because it was made by Brad Maddox, who came out and made the match. That it was Miz versus Chris Jericho for a shot at the Intercontinental title. But during the match, Chris Jericho threw the Miz into Wade Barrett, and Barrett basically snapped. He attacked both men, resulting in no contest. There was no winner of that match. But Vicky Guerrero made another great decision that there would be an Intercontinental title match next week, and would be Barrett, Miz, and Jericho in a triple threat match. But I don't think the Miz is going to win the Intercontinental title. I think he's more set on the United States Championship of Antonio Cesaro. The next match was a match between Jack Swagger and Sin Cara. Jack Swagger won. He made Sin Cara tap out to the Patriot Lock. And at the end of the match, Swagger still had the Patriot Lock locked in. He seemingly was refusing to let go. But thank goodness for luckily for Sin Cara, Alberto Del Rio came out and got Jack Swagger off Sin Cara. They had a brawl. Which makes the WrestleMania match seem more intriguing. Sorry about this. Freaking computer uses up battery like there's no freaking tomorrow. Anyway, and of course the final match was the no disqualification match between Kane and CM Punk. This went so long, it went until after Monday Night Raw went off the air. Well, Raw didn't go off the air, but Raw was meant to go off the air, but it didn't. Because the match was still going on. They went on a little longer. And thanks to a distraction by the bung of the Undertaker's music, Punk was probably expecting the Undertaker, because he turned around to say, "See, is the Undertaker coming?" But it looked like that bong made Punk jump. Punk. I remember back in 2009 that Punk said he was not afraid of the Undertaker. It seemed like he was afraid to me. It seemed like he was a bit afraid. The Punk down there shed his wrestling attire when he heard the bong. He turned around, Kane got him by the throat, up, down, chokeslam. 1, 2, 3. Kane picked up the big win over CM Punk. And then the Undertaker's music hit. I was like, did they just get they just mixed? They just screwed up big time. And that's Kane, not the Undertaker. But then I see the Undertaker appear, come out onto the stage, and then he did the thing where he gets down on the knee and puts up his hand like this, or however he does it. I'm not actually sure. And Kane did the exact same thing, and you see the Paul Bearer's picture come up on the Titantron again, with the years he lived from the year of his birth to 2013, of course, this year in which he passed. And it said, "Rest in peace, Paul Bearer." Punk rolled out of the ring while they were doing this, and Punk grabbed Paul Bearer's arm, and such a disrespectful sign. He hit Kane about 3 or 4 times with the urn. Such a disrespect. Undertaker came storming down to the ring, but of course, when Undertaker got into the ring, Punk headed for the freaking hills because he wanted nothing to do with the Undertaker, because he knew Undertaker would just rip him apart. Punk is absolutely disrespectful, absolute asshole. Whatever happens to Punk at WrestleMania, it's too good for him, because he deserves to just be absolutely destroyed over and over again for disrespecting The Undertaker, who is absolute legend, and of course disrespecting Paul Bearer, who has only recently passed. I mean, come on, you can't disrespect the dead. Whether it be Paul Bearer or whether it be The Undertaker. Ooh, you don't do that. Punk deserves to burn in hell. Personally, that's probably too good for him as well. Whatever happens to Punk, it's too good for him. Maybe you ask me. That's everything. I think I covered everything. Oh, I almost forgot that SmackDown this Friday, it will be Ryback versus Mark Henry. I thought they were gonna save it to WrestleMania. Maybe this will be the first of the match they have, and then they'll build up a rivalry going into WrestleMania, because that's only about 4 weeks away. Yeah, I think, if I'm doing the math right. Yeah, about 4 weeks until April 7th, when WrestleMania is on. Sunday, April 7th. It should be a good pay-per-view. I'm looking forward to seeing Punk get his ass whipped. Hopefully The Rock will retain the WWE Championship. And I'm looking forward to seeing Brock Lesnar get his ass kicked under his own stipulations, because it would be absolutely ironic. Anyway, that's the results of Raw. Damn you, Punk. Just damn him. Damn him. This has been your boy Kurt Pierce 100. If you saw Raw, I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, please do watch it. I watched most of it. It was very good. You know, as good as emotional Raws gets. I mean, you know, very emotional Raws when they're like paying homage to a legend in the wrestling business who's recently passed. Um, yeah, those shows get very emotional, and as far as those kind of shows go, this was very good. I personally, I respect how I never ever try to make any disrespect to any person who's passed. And full condolences to Undertaker and Kane and Paul Bearer's family. I assume he had one. I mean, everyone has a family. So, yeah, anyway, this has been your boy Curry Cruz 100. Please like, subscribe, and peace.